Hello, welcome to Ed's Reading Room Owls for children of 7 and over. I do hope you're going to enjoy the books I've chosen for this month, two fantastic books. The first is called The Magical Detectives, and this is by Brian Keeney. And the second is part of the Tribe series, and this one is called Labradoodle on the Loose. And these books are by T.M. Alexander, Tracy Alexander. First of all, The Magical Detectives by Brian Keeney. In this book, Otto Spinoza, he lives with his mother in a second-hand bookshop, and he goes home one day and discovers that his mother has gone missing. Of course, he's terribly worried and he isn't quite sure what to do. He has a look in the bookshop and he sees an advert for a magical detective agency, so he decides that actually he's going to contact them. And he gets in touch with this rather unusual Maximilian Hawksmoor. And he goes off with Maximilian searching for his mother. Maximilian is convinced that Otto's mother has been taken away by some rather strange beings. So along with Otto's friend Juliet and her cat Cornelius, the four of them go off on a rather thrilling adventure. It's a very, very atmospheric book. The point I'm just going to read a little bit for you is where Otto has contacted Maximilian. "You must have some contacts here," Otto pointed out. "You said you got the carpet in your consulting room from here." Maximilian nodded. "Quite true," he agreed. "It was sold to me by an individual named Ert. He's ugly, dirty, smelly, untrustworthy, unreliable, corrupt, treacherous and devious. But if there's any kind of plot going on involving our world and this one, he's more than likely to know about it." "How can you be so sure?" Juliet asked. "Because he's a gallivant. That is what the creatures who live in this world call one of their number who spends his time moving between worlds and generally causing trouble of one kind or another. That's how I met him, actually. He was wandering around a railway station in London pretending to be human." "How did you know he wasn't human?" Cornelius demanded. "Elementals don't have shadows," Maximilian said, "and they also have a tendency to leave slime behind when they touch things. It oozes out of their pores." "How disgusting," Juliet said. "They sound worse than dogs," Cornelius observed. You may remember I did say that Cornelius was the cat. He is able to speak to certain people. It is a fantastic story, this brilliantly written, a real page-turner, and very, very, will be very much enjoyed by boys and girls alike, and I think a few parents too. The second book, Labradoodle on the Loose, which, as I say, is part of the Tribe series by T.M. Alexander, is about the five friends who collectively are called Tribe. It's the adventures they have are sort of fairly everyday adventures, but it really is an absolutely brilliantly written book, again, like the other book. And it's actually three short stories, but they do just sort of run on one from the other. In the first story, the Labradoodle of the title belongs to Bee, one of the Tribe members, and Keena is supposed to be looking after Doodle, and unfortunately he gets a little bit involved in mountain boarding and he forgets he's supposed to be looking after Doodle, and of course the Labradoodle goes missing, so they all have to start looking for Doodle. Now Keena feels absolutely dreadful about this, and at this point he's feeling really bad. "I lay in bed, wide awake. It was like someone was still screening short films onto the back of my eye, films about Doodle. Doodle drowned, Doodle in pieces, Doodle run over, Doodle in a bin liner. I abandoned bed and tried my hammock, and that must have worked because I had a dream about being on a sailing boat. There was a wave coming and it turned the boat over, and I landed flat on my face on my bedroom carpet with a bit of Lego pressed into my cheek. Not a great way to start the day. I checked my phone straight away, hoping for a message from B with a smiley face at the end. No messages from anyone. It was 7:14 a.m. What to do? I got back in my hammock and swayed for a bit. Usually I like being on my own, but that morning, swinging from side to side, worrying about Doodle, I didn't like it at all." So it really does have a problem there, but of course they all pull together, Tribe and their other members of their family. In the next bit of the story, Bee, it is her birthday, and she has a rather unusual celebration. And then in the final part of the story, the person that the children of Tribe like least in school is actually accused of wrongdoing. But he's falsely accused. So of course Tribe, they're facing a bit of a dilemma. In one sense they don't really want to stick up for this person, but maybe they should. What should they do? It is a fantastically written book. It really is super. Again, wonderful for boys and girls. There are boys and girls in, as the characters. I do hope you're going to enjoy these books, and I hope you're going to print out the activities that I've written to accompany both of these books. And you can also read Ed's interviews with the two authors of the Owls books, Brian Keeney and Tracy Alexander.